Excellent. So it's May 2nd already. Welcome back to
The
another.
third.
Oh, excuse me. See, I'm like, it's so fast. I can't even keep up. I think it was Thursday. I kept thinking all day it was Wednesday. So I'm like totally off a day. So it's still showing. But time is just flying on. And so what we do in this group is we check in. And how are you doing? How was your week or past couple of weeks? Because it's been a couple of weeks since I've talked to you, Christine. So glad you're here. And just kind of settle in and find your center. And as you come in, take a moment to just be present. And the first thing I'm going to do is get permission. Permission, as all of us individually are gathering together our energy, and when two or more are gathered together, this is where the magic happens. We are gathering together our individual focus, attention, and awareness. What we are putting our precious gift, our most precious gift on. What have you been putting your most precious gift on? And just check in. And just check in. No criticism or judgment, but on a scale of 1 to 10, 10, the worst. That means there's pain, something needs to change, there needs to be a shift, there needs to be an integration, something's going on where we can shift today so that we can create that space so you can move forward in whatever it is you're focusing in on. Some of us are focusing in on, being able to move into another place where it's in your mind, you can see it as if you're there already, but your external reality is showing you something different. Or if you're working on your own mental health and mental well-being and finding your purpose and being open to receiving that purpose fully, even though there might be a tiny little voice inside saying, that's too big of a goal, it can't be done. It can't be done. So as you move forward through these perceived limitations, there are times where these parts begin to wake up. So utilize the chat as you check in. On a scale of 1 to 10, where are you? Just checking in right now. Where are you when it comes to the past week or so and moving forward to your goals? Staying focused and centered. Hey, darling. So check in about a 5, Rowan. So maybe what we'll do here, yeah. So Michelle, about a 3, good on you. What a big difference, huh? And kind of smooth sailing along, and now you understand how energy works. We're going to talk about the 3 positions of energy and how you are all 3. The 3 positions of energy. So Michelle, about a 3. Vea, Christine, how are you guys doing? You want me to unmute you? There you go, try that.
Hi, everybody.
Yeah.
So the question is for the week, what number we're at. Just wondering as far as.
Sure, absolutely. So what we're doing is we're checking in with where we are right now and our goals that we had for the week. And so just learning, you're probably thinking about what goals you're going to want for this coming week. But if you've been doing this work, so just check in where you are right now and your desired reality. What is that difference? That difference is the resistance. And if that resistance is a 5 or above, that means there's enough pain there to put our focus, awareness, and attention on and begin to assemble our healing team. And as a wonderful reminder, what is our healing team? Because this is self-directed guidance, and I'm just here as a guide. I just intuitively, I can't even say the word, intuitively move us forward through it. And you give me your words. So you just gave me some words to show me that, I'm not sure what's going on here. So just check in where you are at right now, connecting with your healing team. And the healing team consists of what your focused awareness and attention is on. And so what we're doing is we're giving ourselves something to put our focus, attention, and awareness on. And that is that resistance. So let's say you're a 7 or an 8 of between where you are right now and your desired reality. You want to surf to that reality, but there's a big gap between, and you really want it. You want it now. You know it's there. You're open for it, but there's a gap. I'm not there yet. And so that could feel like a 7 or an 8 with resistance.
I think about a 7 right now.
Okay, so that's what we want to put the first part of our healing team. There's 3 parts to the healing team. Your focus, attention, and awareness. You put it on that 7. And so we're going to bring up words on what that 7 means. So it's a 7 on resistance. So I put it in the chat if you're able to check out the chat and open it up, and then you can type in the chat. So at a 7 between that. And Christine, darling, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you? I'm struggling.
Fabulous.
Oh, good. I'm struggling a little bit with Zoom today. I finally got the video to work, but
It would help to have an earpiece.
oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, it would help definitely to have an earpiece.
I'm trying to think if I have one handy.
But how are you doing? Where are you when it comes to what's happening in your current reality and what you want in your desired reality? What is that difference on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the worst? And I'm going to get back to Nevaeh with the other 2 parts of our healing team.
Yeah, I would say probably at a 6 between what I'd really like for my reality and what I have right now.
Okay, so now you know what to put your focus, attention, and awareness on.
Yeah.
That 6. It's enough to need some pain medicine, right? So it's causing enough discomfort, suffering, worry,
Right.
anxiety,
Yeah.
fear, maybe. Yeah. So focus in. So the other 2 parts, thank you, darling.
Thanks.
The other 2 parts of the healing team are our unconscious awareness. We're not aware of what's going on. And what's going on in the unconscious is like regulating our heartbeat, regulating our hormonal system, regulating homeostasis. We're not consciously aware of what's going on. But what happens in the unconscious is there may be parts in there from the past, maybe even past lives, perhaps, where these parts wake up when we're looking at that 7, when we're looking at that 5, when we're looking at that number where we're seeing our external reality is not showing what I want in my internal reality. There's resistance there. So there will be parts in the unconscious. The unconscious is a powerful tool, and what we need is these parts. We need their permission to integrate into the healing team their knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, while allowing the third part of the healing team, and that is our subconscious or intelligence, I like to call this part. This is the larger unseen part of you that's connected to all that is. It's not connected to time and space. It's not attached to what's going on with my human, but it's the energy that allows my human to have the experience, right? So this larger unseen intelligent part of us is an integral part of this healing team. But we need The second part, the unconscious, those parts that wake up, we need their permission. So as we begin to think about and be present and think about our past and how our past is blocking us, pulling us back into our comfort zone, preventing us from stepping into some uncomfortableness, but this is required in order to step into our purpose and for our purpose to become clearer. And sometimes we may sabotage ourselves or feel like we are imposters. Like, who do you think you are to do what it is you want to do? That's too big of a dream to get to. So these are the little parts that are in the unconscious that begin to wake up when we focus in on that 7, 8, whatever that is, our awareness is looking at. And so what I want to remind all of us, that as you begin to keep your presence here, this is vital. This is also training your awareness, your focus, awareness, and attention. Keep it here. As soon as you go off and maybe look at another page or bring your thoughts on something else, you are no longer in the healing team and present doing the work. So I just want to remind us. So even if I'm not working on you per se, I'm working on someone else in the group, your presence, keep your presence here, because there may be parts within you that begin to wake up based on what you're observing and witnessing. Stay as the witness, and the witness is a neutral position. So as you're thinking about this, we already have a 7, a 5, a 3. Talk about these 3 positions that energy has that science and nature show us. There are 3 energetic positions. There's positive, the divine masculine, the doer, doing. Then there's the negative, divine feminine, being. So we have doing and being. Look at this kind of picture. Holding space, the womb, the being, the seed growing within the womb. So we have something holding space still, not moving. But then doing, being. Then we have neutral. This is the part that's watching the being and seeing the doing, but not attached to either outcome, not attached to anything. So there's 3 positions in energy, and the neutral is also grounded. So there's 3 positions we are in. We are focused, thinking, doing, actually moving about, the divine masculine, preparing, strategizing. Then there's holding space, getting a clear picture, activating the plate, holding space for getting clear. So everything I do is getting closer and closer and closer to that goal. And then there's neutral, not attached to an outcome, just holding space for whatever comes into my experience. Then the doer gets to analyze, is what's coming in my experience in alignment with my vision, with my plate? Get clear, because if it's not, you gotta say no to it. You have to say no to it in order for you to say yes to this, what's still inside the kingdom of the heavens, but is not yet manifested in the mirror world, in the material world. Remember, there's time and space that we have to dredge through. But the larger being part of us, the neutral part of us, it sees it all. It's not bound to time and space. So it sees time now, in the future, and in the past. This is how we're able to do and reprogram past parts that begin to wake up into our presence and then affect our future to keep us in that karmic cycle, if you will, energetic movement. But it takes conscious effort and awareness to gather the healing team, get organized, get focused, clean up these parts that come up and affect our current reality, affect our ability to make clear, conscious choices. and we reprogram those parts to release, and then come into an inner space of openness, expandingness, so that you can step into whatever that is. I don't know what that is. For so many of you, your dreams and how you're going to get there, I'm just amazed. And that I can't wait to see that manifest. And for many of you, I can't wait to see these manifestations, but it might not be what your mind thinks it is. If you can, transcend it, because it might even be better. Keep clear on the end result of that picture of what you want when it's done. So this is the work we're doing. As these parts begin to wake up, we're focused in. Healing team number 1, focused in on that 7. Parts begin to wake up. The healing team asks these parts, hey, you parts that are waking up, are you willing to integrate all your knowledge, wisdom, and understanding while letting go of the reactions, letting go of the emotions, letting go of the knowings, letting go of the programs. Let it pee into the ocean, right? Let it go and drift back into the ocean. But integrate into the wholeness of the healing team your knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. So these parts must all agree. Once these parts agree, then we teach this larger, unseen intelligence part that we are. Einstein called this part of us creativity and imagination. Neville Goddard calls imagination God. So there's a gift to this part, and we don't know how to use it. So we're training this part of us as we get clear in using our creativity and imagination and getting very clear on that end result, and then activating the power that you are, this larger, unseen. We only see a small percentage of what is there right now. Activating this part and just sitting with it, just sitting with it, not expecting anything. And doing this, you're bringing mind and heart into unity, that frequency of coherence. And let's see, all of us come from some kind of background, religious background, where when 2 or more are gathered in my name, this is where the magic happens. Your 2 is mind and heart, gathered in my name, creating another frequency. This is where the magic happens. So sit in this space. Nice. So now that we've done this, Christine, a 6, a 7 on resistance and awareness, 5, very good. Very good. So just sit with this. And so now what I'd love for you to do is I'm going to get your words, because remember, our words are like spells, especially when there's emotion with the word. You're creating a spell here. So I want to get your words, because your words tell me parts that are beginning to wake up. So what I'd love for you guys to do is just a couple moments, share with you, and I'm going to capture your words, and we're going to do a group one and see where we go, because we don't have very high numbers individually. We don't have really, really high numbers individually. So what I'd love to do is get some individual and then work on it even deeper as a collective. And then as we're working on it, I'd love for you to type in the chat some words that come up for you, and we'll integrate those words as they begin to, those parts begin to wake up and begin to integrate that. How does that feel to everyone? So who would like to go first to gather some words? Feel free to unmute yourself. And I am going to get...
I guess I can go if no one else is up to it.
Hey, darling, how are you?
Hi. So, I'm not, I guess I'm not entirely clear on what we're doing, but should I just tell you a little bit about what's been going on in the past week?
Yes, what's coming up for you that we're going to be working on? Yes,
Okay.
what's woken up?
Okay, so to be honest, I do feel pretty good that I led my first group healing on Friday in my own new private Facebook group, and I feel like it went pretty well. The only thing that was kind of off was that for some reason the comments were not showing in the control thing for the Facebook Live, and so I had to view the comments in a separate tab in the group, and it took a while to figure out that I could still see them there even though they weren't coming up in the actual video control panel thing. But other than that, it felt like it went really well. There was a lot of great energy that was coming through. And, and I had one person tell me that, her migraine went from like a 5 down to a 1. And then I got some more feedback from her this morning where she said it did come back later that day, but then yesterday it was like completely gone, no pain at all, like at all yesterday. And so I don't know if there's going to be long-term results from that, but even if I could offer her temporary relief, I think that's just fantastic. But there is, there are still doubts coming up about my own abilities because there were a few other people there with me live and people that were watching the replay. And while there were some other people that were telling me, oh, there was really great energy, oh, you have a lovely soothing voice, I didn't really get any feedback from anyone else whether I actually helped their issue or not. So, that doesn't mean that they didn't get anything out of it, but it does create some more feelings of, just doubting my abilities. And that is something that I have struggled with. And there are some times when I wonder where, even if people are telling me that I helped, I'm like, well, did I really help or are they just humoring me? And so those are things that have definitely been coming up. But, I'm trying to focus on the positive things that I have heard because I do want to keep doing this. I want to keep forging forward and offer more of these and possibly some private sessions or, and also like, recordings that I can put out for people to purchase as well. And so these are all things that I want to do. And I think that, there just are some self-doubt hurdles to get over.
Okay, so for self-doubt, love, let's put a number on it, and that's what we're going to be focusing on, that self-doubt. So let's focus on that self-doubt. On the pain scale of 1 to 10, I mean, so you learn from your mistakes by going live, and when I go live, I usually use my iPad and then I have my laptop open to see the comments. So learning from your mistakes, and it's okay to make mistakes because you're moving forward with taking imperfect action, right? So your mistakes are going to show up as you take that imperfect action. So it's okay. And you are going to make mistakes. But you mentioned something interesting, that you worked with someone and they got their pain from a 5 to a 1 and then the next day no pain, but you still had doubts coming up about your abilities, that people say that you have great energy, the feedback is good, but did they get anything out of it? So you're coming into this work with expectations.
Right.
From my experience, the best thing to do is, all right, big guy, high five. I'm your puppet. Here we go. No expectations. Whatever I'm giving, I'm giving. And if somebody has any kind of criticisms, I see the spell in their words. I just see where they are. I don't take any of it personally. But I come with, just like in this group, I come with no expectations. Because if I do have expectations, it doesn't feel like it went very smoothly, right? You have those doubts. Those doubts come up because you came up in with expectations. When you have no expectations, there's no doubt. So try that next time. Do a one-on-one with somebody. Hey, I'd love to have a one-on-one with you, and just set yourself up. Whatever happens, happens. Go in it, connect, feel, intuitively talk, and then come out of it and look at yourself from that neutral position. From that neutral position. Very good. So where are you on that scale of 1 to 10?
So I would say about a 6 as far as the self-doubt goes. And
okay.
Yeah, because there are some times where it feels like I am getting very good results, but it's not all the time. And I think that like even if people gave me some feedback saying, well, that it was great energy, but that I didn't really help them that much, like even I would value even that, like constructive feedback, that I definitely value that some people take that stuff personally. But if constructive feedback is given to me in a respectful manner, then I love it. So
oh yeah.
So,
Very
I mean,
good.
I feel like, although people were saying that there was like great energy coming through, I just, people that had specific requests, I don't know how much I actually helped them other than the one person who was telling me that that her migraine was like, that she had absolutely no pain like at all yesterday and the day afterwards. And, and I don't know how long her relief is going to last, but I consider that a major win. Even with you being able to give her some temporary relief, it would just be nice to know how the other people in the group were doing, but I
Mhm.
can't force them to give me feedback.
Exactly. And so, speaking from experience, when my thoughts start going there, I give it to my higher self. I give it to Albert
Yeah.
and say, hey, Albert, you take care of this. Because I can't, the mind wants to go there. And I've learned that's a complete waste of your precious time.
Yeah.
So, find a way to get back here,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna ask you today, for today, to hold that 6 for self-doubt. Okay. All right. Anybody else? Thank you, Rowan. Yes, Michelle. Let me unmute you. How's that?
Okay. Hi.
So good to see you, darling.
That's not good. I cut my bangs.
Oh my God.
You're not supposed to do. So I said that I was about a 3 because I have kind of come to a place where and I guess intentionally, because it's the point of learning and growing and that kind of thing, but between the YouTube videos, the Facebook posts, the podcasts, the books, the, TV and, this, that, and the other thing, it's like, if you want to manifest this perfect life, you have to do it this way. No, you have to do it this way. No, you have to do it this way. And it just like, I have become so completely like oversaturated with all of this information that's supposed to be making my life better that it's just making me crazy. So I'm kind of not stepping back or, I'm just kind of limiting, I kind of stopped some of the YouTube videos. And so I'm just kind of limiting, I'm unfollowing, different people with, different things. Cause it's like, I know it's almost like a political or a religious thing where like, these people think they're right, the reality transfers think they're right. And that's what's right. And, the Hicks people think they're right. And then, the Neville people think they're right, so it's, and I know there's value in all of it, but I just, I have time. So I just became like so overwhelmed by all of this information that I'm just I'm existing. And my number 2 thing that I've done the past couple weeks is, I have talked about being a perfectionist before, and I'm really, really, really hard on myself. And I finally got to a point where it's like, I don't have to be perfect. I'm not, the way I talk to myself, I would never tolerate anybody else on the planet talking to me that way. So why is it okay for me to be that mean? And, and when I decide that I want to do something, it doesn't come as a natural flow to me. Like, it's not like I just wake up one day and say, okay, I'm going to start working out. And that's just the way it is. To me, it's like, this like I have to work out for at least an hour every day, and I visualize like trying to climb up a hill with 100-pound weight around my waist through molasses, and it's just got to be this like constant fight and constant struggle, and I get exhausted from it because then I don't do the things that I want to do, and I start beating myself up because of that, and it's like this vicious cycle of, you said you wanted to do this, but you didn't do it. So you must not be a good person, and you must not be this. And, I'm really good at finding people online that are like my age and height, and like, well, if they can do it, then I can do it. So, there's always this comparison. And I'm just tired, and I'm just done, and I'm just going to be, and I'm going to be happy, and just learn to breathe again, and, not be so mean, because I'm really, really mean to myself. And, like I said, I wouldn't tolerate that from anybody else, nor would I talk to anybody else that way. So
on this, let's focus in on this internal dialogue. On a scale of 1 to 10, this internal dialogue, where are you on the pain scale of this internal dialogue and wanting to replace these habits of self-criticism and perfectionism and comparativism?
Well, I kind of like, the last couple weeks or whatever, I have a memory, and I don't even know how accurate it is because it's really old, but I have a memory from being 4 years old, and, it was like something that was bad at the time, and I'm, sad that it happened, and I'm ashamed of myself. But then I think about it, and it's like, you were 4 years old, like, so I'm beating myself up over something that I did when I was 4 years old, and it just stuff like that, like the constant motion. So,
So what would the 4-year-old say right now? Can you let the 4-year-old speak? What would the 4-year-old say right now, this internal dialogue? Why does she get to talk to you this way?
um, I I don't know. It just, I gave into peer pressure and I did something mean to another kid, and, it was stuff that I guess kids do or whatever, but I should know better. I mean, I don't know. It's just one of those things. It's just like,
And you said you were 4 years old?
uh-huh.
So this 4-year-old, you wanted friends so badly, right?
I gave into the peer pressure from my cousin, so it was a family member who was
So
actually, I think, a little younger than me.
So you were protecting your cousin?
No, she was just being a jerk, and she's like, "Come on, let's do this," and I went along with her because I went along with her, and I knew what she was doing was not nice, but I did it anyway because she, I went along with it.
Gotcha. And so she was your cousin, and you wanted your cousin's love and affection and
I guess.
attention.
Yeah. I'm an only child, so whenever there was kids around, it was
It's like having a
something
sister.
different.
Okay, I'll do whatever you want, sister. I love you so much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you did it for love. From a 4-year-old's perspective, you did it for love. Now you're beating yourself up for it. Nice. Whew, goosebumps. The things we do for love, the things we do for love.
Like walking in the rain.
There you go.
And
You got it. Nice.
Do
Ooh,
it.
I got goosebumps. Okay. So we've had Rowan and Michelle, darlings. We have flip a coin, going once, going twice. I'll unmute you, darling. Hey.
Hi, am I on now?
You are on. You are on it
Hi,
all.
everyone. I just want to say, Rowan, I love your bird so much. Beautiful. And Michelle, your hair looks great. I mean, we've all not had a haircut for a while, right?
Yeah. But
You are
thanks,
awesome, darling.
Everyone always tells me how much they love him. I hope he feels it.
He
What's
steals
his-
the show every time.
What is his name?
His name is Davi. He's a Senegal parrot.
Dave?
Yeah, Davi.
A-V-I. Okay, well, I just send love, love, love to your bird. I love all the animals.
Oh,
so
thank you
much.
so much.
Beautiful. Okay.
Yeah, he's been off the last few days, so I really appreciate that. Yeah.
Well, we send blessings and love. And I just really relate to Michelle. So what happened is just with everything, I'm really feeling kind of blindsided. Everything, I've been watching the YouTube videos like Michelle, and what's happened is it is a little bit overwhelming. I'm trying to figure everything out and get everything in alignment in my mind, and understanding everything about transurfing, understanding Neville Goddard, that we are the imagination, and no one in church, I've come out of the church and I didn't know any of this information until about the last year. So I'm really feeling, I don't know why no one tried to tell us before now. Do you know what I mean? Is everybody in the same boat here? Or did everybody know this like for years and years and years?
I think we're all in different places and we're all expanding quickly at the same time. So now a lot of us are coming through some shifts and realizations that there's stuff happening in my world that I don't want, and yet we're focused, we're unconscious. Right now we're unconsciously making choices, but like you waking up going, oh my gosh, all of these things that are happening, I'm feeling blindsided. Why didn't anybody tell me this before? I feel like I've wasted my whole life. You're going through the grieving process. Allow yourself these questions, because the mind is going to think it's going crazy. It's losing control. And it is, because the mind has absolutely no control. So we're coming and shifting into a place of observing the mind, not being the mind. I have to know it. I have to understand. I have to learn all the things. I have to put all the puzzle pieces together and make perfect understanding of it. But now we're kind of looking at the mind and going, that's not me. I'm just going to stay in this expansive space, think nothing, know nothing. I don't know nothing here, but I know
Okay.
everything here. So understanding that there's this other place, space, part, expandingness, awareness of you. And we can't see it, taste it, touch it. We can't use our five senses to detect it. And so what we do is we use reality transurfing, which is wonderful. We use a couple of concepts and ideas from that, such as Tufti activating the plate, and reality transurfing creating the slide. We took those two concepts and put them together, doing them both. And this puts us in an experience that the mind can't comprehend. So the mind is going to come back and want to say, I want to know the how. I want to know all the ifs, ands, buts, and howevers, and rules, and formulas, and I want to know it all now. And we just kind of observe it and say, that's okay, mind. You don't have to know everything, and then transcend. Transcend means I take my focus, awareness, and attention off my mind and come into my center, into that neutral space where I'm seeing stillness and I'm seeing the movement of my world, of my experience, but I'm not attached to any place. You've experienced this before.
Yes, but now, okay, what I was trying to say is,
Sorry, I went off that.
I understand it's our awareness that is watching everything. We are the observer. We are observing from our awareness.
Yep.
Our dirt body or whatever we are in the movie.
Mannequin.
Mannequin, okay.
That's
So
what Vadim
now,
calls it.
But what I'm trying, the part of the mind I'm trying to link is I have terrible physical pain in my feet. And I can barely walk right now. So what I'm trying to understand is, was I thinking bad thoughts? Was I saying something to throw the scales off balance? What was it that caused the physical problem in my body? That's what I'm trying to figure out so that I don't do that anymore.
Okay, so let's just focus in on the pain first, because then as we're going through and doing the work, the parts will begin to wake up by themselves. You won't have to do a thing. So on the pain in the physical pain that you're having in your feet, on the pain scale of 1 to 10, where are you?
I'm probably at a 9.5.
Okay, so we found something. So 9.5 pain, physical pain. In both feet?
Yes, but the left is worse than the right.
Okay. So this is what we're going to be focusing on, the pain in the feet. And can you let this pain talk a little bit? What does it feel like? Is it like inflammation? Talk to the pain. Let the pain speak.
It is every step I take, it is like screaming at me. So it's just
It wants you to rest. Is your feet saying it wants me to rest?
yes, it's like get off your feet. See, the problem is because I'm alone and I live alone and I have my dog, I have to walk my dog. I have to get up and let her out. I have to do all the shopping, do all the cleaning. I have no one to help me. I'm responsible for everything. And you can't get through the day sitting on the couch, right? You've got to make your food, make the dog food, everything. So that's where I keep going, and maybe my body is just telling me to stop.
Okay, so what we're going to be doing is our focus, awareness, and attention is only going to be focused in on the pain, not wondering what the pain is trying to tell us. So just focus in on the pain. It's a 9.5. So collectively, when we all get together to do the work, we're going to be all working on the pain. Okay, and so as parts begin to wake up, they will be integrated. And so what I'd like your mind to do is stay open and observe over the next week after we do the work today, because we're going to do the work, then we're going to set an anchor and get clear on our vision and activate the plate. Sound good?
Thank you.
You're welcome, darling. I mean, that's powerful work right there. Christine, darling, how are you doing?
Can you hear me?
Gotcha. Yes.
Oh, good. Sorry. I'm doing okay. How are you?
Fabulous. I miss you.
I miss you too. I know. I'm glad I remembered to get on today.
I'm glad too.
So I don't know exactly what my particular issue would be today, but I can tell you that the way that my life is going at the moment is not necessarily the way I'd like it to go. And it has to do with illness. And it's not my illness, so you probably know what it's about. Just getting a little harder. Just, dealing with that. It's just a little hard. Because I don't want so much, I don't, it was hard to accept it to begin with, and it takes more time and attention. Right now, anyways. And I know this isn't the way it's gonna always be, it's just right now. I'm still having difficulties with Zoom today too, I think.
So this illness taking over your life and getting hard to deal with.
Yeah.
So taking a moment to focus on this illness taking over my life and it's getting hard to deal with. On the pain scale of 1 to 10, where are you? 10 being the worst.
Oh, I'd probably say today is a 6. Probably about a 6 today, yeah.
A 6 today.
When you said earlier about the being the observer, that was resonating.
Being in the neutral position, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And the visual that I like to explain what that is, it's like the scales where you have the moving parts, right? The movement, and then the air that allows that movement to happen.
Right.
And then you have the fulcrum. that holds the
Has to
scale.
be the
That's
fulcrum.
the neutral position. Be the fulcrum, because the fulcrum could look at the movement and it can also look at all the space. So the movement is the positive, all the space holding it is the negative, and then the fulcrum is just the neutral.
Okay.
So your body is the positive, the unseen energy part of you is the
Oh,
negative,
okay.
and the neutral is that internal kingdom of the heavens within, just nothingness. Nice. Does this 6 want to speak anymore?
No, not right. Not particularly. Not right now. I don't think it does.
Awesome. So what we're going to do is we're going to permission to continue and let's do some work.
Yep.
All right, so I'm going to mute you guys. And if there are any words that come up as we're doing this work, so collectively, we're going to be working on the collective here. So as you begin to have some things come up, feel free to put them in the chat so that I can include those words with the healing team. And even, you know what, you don't even need to say it. Just include those words within yourself to add it to the healing team. And if you want to share, feel free to share. So permission to first of all, make sure I can see everyone in case I need to see the comments. Very good, very good, very good. So permission, gathering our individual healing team and our collective healing team. Our focus, awareness, and attention is here and now. So permission to do the work, and I'm getting a yes, and bringing all of our focus, awareness, and attention on self-doubt. And today's self-doubt is probably a 6 or above. And with self-doubt, you know, sometimes it feels good. You know, I'm doing things that feel good, and people are telling me, you know, I have good energy, but yet, you know, they're not telling me that I help them. And so yet there's this little voice that comes in that says, what do you think you're doing? They're not getting any results. You're not doing anything. You're just putting on a show. All of these doubt thoughts start coming. And maybe I did have expectations. I don't know. I'm still learning all of this. But this feeling of self-doubt was definitely something to pay attention to, because all of the parts that are now waking up as we're focused in on this self-doubt, you know, I make a decision and it might seem scary, and then all of a sudden I have all of these thoughts of worry and fear of screwing up or failing. I have this fear of failing because I have no idea what I'm going to do. I don't have a perfect plan in place already. Who do I think I am to be even trying to do this? And so this self-doubt that's coming up, and as soon as I do something kind of out of the ordinary, exciting, that yes, I'm doing some things that I really want to do, and yet I'm pulled back into my comfort zone, and there's parts that wake up, and it's affecting me. On the scale of 1 to 10, it's affecting my ability to step into my purpose. And so all of these parts that are waking up, that pull me back into my comfort zone. Are you willing to share your knowledge, wisdom, and understanding with the healing team while releasing the triggers, while releasing the self-doubt, the ideas and beliefs that, you know, who do I think I am? I am, therefore I am is enough. And releasing the emotional reactions and the ideas and beliefs and programs around this program, trigger, reaction of self-doubt. So thank you, self-doubt, for waking up and waking up all of these parts. And are you willing to share your knowledge, wisdom, and understanding with the healing team while releasing all of the parts that no longer serve us? I'm getting a big fat yes. So are there any parts not willing to share their wisdom, knowledge, and understanding with the healing team? And so I'm getting some resistance there, that there are some parts not willing. So this is completely normal. We want all of these parts to willingly share their knowledge, wisdom, and understanding with the healing team. So you may have doubts. You may have some fear of losing control. You maybe even have some fear of dying. However, you're sharing all of your wisdom, knowledge, and understanding with the healing team. And the healing team is sharing all of their wisdom, knowledge, and understanding with you as one. So as you have a conversation with the healing team and make a conscious decision to share your wisdom, knowledge, and understanding with the healing team, getting a yes, the healing team is receiving you. So processing is happening on self-doubt. Now that the intelligence that we are knows what to do, to go in and fill in those holes like a feather, exact sequence and order, on and off, healing and resting, so you barely feel any of the pain at all. It's like a feather brushing up on your skin. You can barely feel any pain because we don't want any of that pain to flood our current reality. So all of this is happening underneath our conscious awareness. The mind is going, well, I don't feel anything. But the body is going, wow, I feel lighter, open, spacious all of a sudden. I'm all of a sudden remembering happier times. So there's inner things happening that the neutral part of us can clearly see and do the work. This neutral part of us is now doing a massive rewrite of these programs, releasing the emotional reactions, releasing the triggers, releasing the wanting to save us and pull us back into our safety and comfort zone. Because stepping into our purpose can sometimes feel uncomfortable. But we have to feel the uncomfortableness in order to expand and learn into it. Very good. Nice shift. Permission granted. Teeth are chattering, energy releasing. Nice. Remember to drink water. Water is an energy conductor. And self-doubt is a natural human state. That means you're in the movement of your human being. So as soon as you realize you are in self-doubt, recognize, oh, wow, I'm in self-doubt. Thank you for showing me I'm out of balance. So recognizing, and this is where EFT comes in. So check in. Where are you? You were at a 6. Some self-doubt is continue to wake up, but checking in. We were at a 6. You know, I'm learning from my mistakes. I'm going to make mistakes. I'm not going to allow self-doubt stop me from making my mistakes. So you're at a 4 now. Very good. From a 6 to a 4 is huge. So from a 6 above a 5, you're right at that point where you need some kind of pain reliever. But below a 5, you're at a 4 where it's like, I could take pain reliever, but I think I'll let processing and healing continuing to happen. But these self-doubt parts are going to continue to wake up and want to protect you, want to pull you back into your comfort zone, want you to have expectations so that you can measure whether or not what you're doing is even making a difference in the world, instead of coming from a space of speaking my truth, and wherever my seeds land, they grow. I don't know where those seeds are going to land and where they're going to grow. The mind doesn't know. So I allow myself to speak my truth from my center. But I know I'm not speaking my truth from out of balance if I'm coming from expectations. Very nice. Nice shift there. Nice shift there. Awareness is key. Where are you? Are you in balance? Being okay if someone didn't get benefit from my message, but being okay with the live that I did today. Somebody maybe 3 days, 3 weeks, 3 months from now might see it and all of a sudden get that experience that they were looking for. Because a lot of us have the head knowledge. All of us here have the head knowledge. And it doesn't matter what head knowledge you have. We're taking that, what we already know, letting it go, and coming into this space of being neutral. 3 after tapping. Very good. So you went from a 6 to a 3. You went from a 6 to a 3 with self-doubt. This is we get focused awareness and attention on what it was. And in the beginning, you're like, well, it feels good. I feel good. Maybe I'm at a 3. But as we started talking and realizing, self-doubt is showing itself. But we had to kind of uncover it a little bit, didn't we? And so we realize it's that self-doubt. Oh my gosh, self-doubt is at a 6. Let's let this self-doubt speak and integrate their wisdom, knowledge, and understanding willingly. And they have precious knowledge and understanding and empathy. They've got it, but they're triggered because they're holding on to that energetic, emotional reaction trigger. So we want to let go of the trigger and integrate that. And we went from a 6 to a 3. That is fan-freaking-tastic. So as we move on, healing team, as we move on, and Rowan, if anything comes up for that 3, and if that 3 wants to express as we move on, because we're going to move on to, being at, let's see, live intentionally or life will be lived unintentionally, and being a 4-year-old and doing something out of love, even though what I did was mean, but I did it out of love. And now I'm beating myself up my whole adult life. And I was 4 freaking years old and I loved my cousin so much. She was like a sister to me. I loved her. And I did this mean thing. Oh my gosh, I was a bully. And I know every single human I meet is a potential bully. I've run across bullies myself, and there's a bully in every single human. And that bully came out because I loved my cousin so much. But she's never come out again since, but maybe once or twice. Because, I can bully anyone for love. I will beat up anybody for love. If it means holding that space and loving me back. Yeah, hell yeah, I'll do it again. I'll bring out my 4-year-old bully. I love her so much, but she's got wisdom and knowledge and understanding that I want her to share with the healing team. And I don't want her to prevent myself from beating myself up anymore because I love her so much. And I will do, I will do it again. I would do it again. So all of those parts that are waking up, do we have your permission to integrate your healing knowledge, wisdom, and understanding with the healing team? And let go of the reactions and beliefs that I'm a bad person because my 4-year-old did a bully thing because I loved my cousin so much. Thank you for letting it go. Just piss it into the ocean, let it go, but integrate. This 4-year-old, I love her so much. She loved her cousin so much. Thank you. I love you. I love you so much. Integrate all your knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. The healing team is receiving you fully. Nice. Nice. I am just remembering now how in flow I was during the healing, that I didn't even stop to question whether or not I could not help someone with a specific issue, and I simply channeled source energy to deal with it. And regardless of how I may or may not have helped others, I felt so much lighter after the session. So it definitely helped me. So this is key, Rowan, especially, I know we have other healers here. We've got nurses here. You're a healer intuitively. This is key. When you're doing it and you're feeling lighter, you're doing something right. Whether the outcome doesn't matter. Doesn't matter the outcome. And now I look forward to these sessions for pure selfish reasons, because you better believe I had some self-doubt coming up because I had to connect to my own self-doubt for it to come up collectively, right? So this is the beauty of this work. You hit on it. You found it. You discovered it. Very good. Nice. So Michelle, darling, I'm like wanting to tear up so bad. So live intentionally or life will be lived unintentionally. You had an intention when you were 4 years old, and you've been living life unintentionally ever since. Where is that love that that 4-year-old had for her cousin who would do anything? Where is she now? It was a high number. We did not put a number on it, did we? We started with internal dialogue. I'm going to unmute you. We started with internal dialogue. And I've talked about being a perfectionist, the way I talk to myself. I would not tolerate anyone on the planet talking to me that way. You know, and then maybe ask, how can I serve? You talked about how you tell yourself you're going to exercise, and then you have this verbal battle inside
Yeah.
your head. Yeah, who the hell do you think you are? You know, all this stuff going on inside your head. And then what? You know, that you're really mean to yourself. And obviously you're mean to yourself because you must love yourself.
I don't know what that means.
Your 4-year-old's coming out, and she's doing whatever it takes.
Mm-hmm.
She's doing whatever it takes.
Yeah.
So you're comparing habit, you're comparing others, and being really mean to myself in that inner dialogue that I have. And it comes back to a memory of when you had that peer pressure that you did something mean to another kid when you were 4 years old. So we did not put a number to where that was, but it felt pretty deep. It felt strong.
I would say it was probably a 7 or an 8, because I, you know, like I said, I have been doing a lot of self-examination, and I was bullied a lot when I was a kid, whether it was older cousins or in grade school or, you know, that kind of thing. Like, I really had a lot of issues with being bullied, which led to me marrying somebody that bullied me for 10 years and, you know, that kind of thing. So that's.
Which means you learned how to bully. Yes, exactly. Yeah, beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful realization. So going from a 7 to an 8 and realizing that you learned bullying from family members and others close to you, and those close to you, you love.
Mm.
So you were bullied, and now look at what you're doing to yourself.
Yeah.
You're doing what you learned internally. You internalize it. Now, some people externalize it. They become the narcissistic bullies, right? So they externalize that experience. You internalized it.
Mm-hmm.
So you were a 7-8. So check in after doing that work and some of those realizations that, you know, it's coming from a space of love. And when your 4-year-old comes out saying, you're not exercising, who do you think you are? You know, you're giving into that peer pressure. And I wouldn't let anybody on the planet talk to me physically that way. I would not allow anybody to talk to me that way, ever. But, you know, I talk to myself that way, and how I want to change my body and change my habits and, you know, get into good shape and eat better. But instead I have this internal negative dialogue that makes me eat the crap and not do the exercise and not pick up the weights. And so, you know, it's a 7 or an 8. It's really affecting my now. It's affecting my now. And so ask ourselves better questions. Our new mantra could be, how can I serve what my body needs today? Just ask that. And so when you catch yourself in that internal dialogue, being that 4-year-old bully who learned how to do it so well, that you do it to yourself, when you catch yourself and you become aware, good job becoming aware, right? Because awareness is key. We go in it unconsciously. So you're no longer being lived unconsciously. You become aware, oh my gosh, there I'm going down that path again. Mm-hmm. Now I'm aware. Ask yourself, how can I serve what my body needs today? And then be open to the response. It might be just drinking more water.
Yeah.
I internally asked that question just now, and my body's like, hey, the water's right there, drink some of it.
Well,
So,
if I'm going to be honest, mine is coffee because, addictions. So, but I will drink some water. I need to.
and you can do something as, because we have habits and we are creatures of habit. And if you keep telling yourself, I got to stop the coffee or drink less the coffee, what you end up doing is drinking more, right?
Yeah.
So instead, I will make an agreement with myself, for every cup of coffee, I'm going to drink 2 cups of water. And then just do it, because this is how I can listen to my body and be open. It's like, all right, I have the habit of coffee. Let's do for every cup, every 2 cup, we'll drink 2 cups of water. And if that's something you can say yes to, this is when you have habits, overlapping habits. You're just switching one habit for another consciously, instead of unconsciously having that habit live your life. Yeah, so you're coming into this conscious awareness. So check in. You were at a 7 or 8. When it comes to this internal dialogue that you have preventing you from doing the things you want, you were at a 7 or 8. Check in. Where are you now?
Well, when when we started today, I was like, oh, I'm 3, I'm fine, everything's good. But I guess that was a lie. I do feel much better, and part of why I'm even here to begin with is because I want to know why I don't do the things that I desperately want to do. I'm trying to figure out that path. So, I do feel like much lighter and a lot of relief, and I probably back down to the 3 that I thought I started with, but that was just kind of bullshit, I guess. I don't know. So, I do actually feel a lot lighter, and like I understand a little bit better.
You said something very key. I want to know the why I don't do the things I want to do. So if we can change up that question to create space for you to do the things you want to do.
Okay.
So right now, your mind is looking for the why you don't do the things you want to do. So this is what you're telling your mind to do.
Okay.
Do you see it? Do you see the
Yeah.
formula in your question? So if you can become aware of this internal dialogue that you have, that you would not let anybody else talk to you that way, and become aware of the formulas you repeat to yourself that become crystallized in our material world. And so if we can catch ourselves, it's like, oh wow, I just caught myself wanting to know the why I don't do the things I want to do. I just gave my brain something to do, and this is what's going to be brought to me. So if we can change our questions to, how can I create space to do the things I want to do? How does this question feel to you? Is there anything that comes up, that wakes up inside, that says, you can't do that, or you can't change your habits, or it feels like some things are waking up?
Yeah, no, it makes more sense. It's looking at it from a positive aspect as opposed to the negative.
And not even from a positive aspect, because positive means that positive energy to do something. It's really bringing you into that neutral space and seeing both. So as you begin to ask that question, it really is an affirmation, because what we want to do is replace those thoughts, habitual thoughts that you have, catch yourself in the thoughts, replace it with, how can I create space to do the things I want? And then see that image of those things you want being done. You're in it, doing it. Activate the plate for 2 to 10 minutes and hold that question. How can I create space to do the things I want? And the mind is going to want to know the how. The mind is going to want to go back to its old habits and its old ways of thinking. Did we clear on this yet? So subconscious, collective, healing team. We were at a 7 or 8 with this, with living intentionally, or life will be lived unintentionally, and how I have this horrible internal dialogue that I wouldn't allow anybody else to speak to me in that way. And it's really habitual. It's comparing habitually, and I'm really mean to myself. It's about a 7 or 8. It may have gotten a little bit better, but my mind, it wants to know, really, really wants to know why I don't do the things I tell myself I want to do. It's almost like I go in the complete opposite direction, and I'm doing all the things I exactly don't want to be doing. And it's really causing frustration and suffering, and even more of this almost abusive internal dialogue that I'm having. And it's creating a 7 or 8. And I want to know, I truly, truly want to know, how can the healing team, how can my healing team, how can my collective healing team create this space to do the things I want to do? I want to get clear on that vision, on what that looks like. So all of these parts that are waking up, all of these parts that want to compare everything, all of these parts that want to know why I'm not doing the things I want to do, and the mind that is looking for reasons why not to do the things I want to do. All of those parts that are waking up. Are you willing to share your knowledge, wisdom, and understanding with the healing team? The pendulum's almost jumping out of my hand, getting a big fat yes. And are there any parts not willing to share their wisdom, knowledge, and understanding with the healing team? So I'm getting a little yes here. So all of those parts not willing, we want to make sure you are willing and make a conscious choice. Are you willing to have a conversation with the healing team so you learn that you're sharing, keeping all of your knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, while letting go of the reactions, the emotions, the triggers, the ideas and beliefs and programmings that no longer serve, and the subconscious, this intelligence that we are with the healing team, is going to do a massive rewrite of these programs so that all of you can be fully integrated with the healing team. So I'm getting a big fat yes. And the healing team is receiving you. Very good. So processing is happening. Very nice. If you have a smartphone, I recommend the Water Time Pro app to track water and other beverages you drink. Very good. It helps you set goals and reminds you to drink. Excellent. Very good. Very good. See, lots of cooperative group shifts happening. Very good. Thank you, Michelle. This feels like it shifted big time. I don't think it's anywhere near a 7 or an 8. What number would you give it?
I'd say, back down to the 3 or the 2. I feel lighter. I feel better, more hopeful.
Nice.
And I was just also going to say that, like, I'm still doing the daily Reiki meditations for healing. So, my uncle is out of the hospital. So, the whole Corona thing didn't get him. So, but, we have people here that have pain in all different forms and stuff like that. So I'm really working and practicing that and stuff like that. So I will include everybody, and I'm doing it collective for the entire planet, but I'm, if there's people that have specific needs, I'm trying to do that too. So.
Excellent. And you're Reiki level 2, you said?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And, oh, you guys, I'm so excited. In our group, we are doing a Reiki level 1. And I found my training and my certification. So I'll be sharing that with you. And I have not set the date for that yet. So that is going to be next. So I'll be putting a link in the group. I know 2 of you are not in the group. So I will make sure you guys get that information so that you can participate in that. It will be on Zoom. Very cool. So thank you, Michelle.
Thank you.
So we're Nevea. Say your name, darling. Say again.
Nevea.
Oh, I said it
And
right, Nevea.
I'm just wondering, how come when I speak, my screen doesn't come on like your guys? Everyone's screen changes.
I have mine on speaker view, so whoever's speaking should come up.
Oh, how do I do a change my view?
You're fine. I can see everyone, so yep, doesn't matter. You're
I wasn't
good.
sure if anyone can even see me.
Yep, we can see you.
Okay.
So, darling, you were feeling blindsided, that you've been watching all these YouTubes. You could relate to Michelle, feelings of overwhelming, trying to figure things out and get everything into alignment. The mind wants to know the order of things, putting in exact order, the knowing and the how. And you understand that we are the imagination, so you have an intellectual understanding but not really connection with it, right? So we want to train your creativity and imagination. And you do come from a Christian background, and you didn't know this until just recently, and you don't understand why everybody doesn't know this. Yeah. And that your physical pain is at a 9.5. And we're going to be focusing on that physical pain today in the feet, the physical pain being a 9.5. So now we're bringing all of our focus, awareness, and attention to Nevaeh's physical pain in her feet, and any physical pain that you also might be dealing with as well. But the physical pain is a 9.5, and we're focused in on the feet, and it's in both feet. And every step I take, it's like my feet are screaming at me, please, please rest. You have to rest. But how can I rest? I don't understand how I can rest, because everything I do is physical. I have to be doing all of these things got to be done. I live by myself. Who else is going to do them for me? And I can't be sitting on the couch all day. And so yet here I am with this physical pain. And yet I still have to get all of these things done, even with the pain. The pain comes with me as I'm walking the dog and cleaning and shopping and doing the things that I have to do every single day. I'm sitting with this physical pain. Very nice. So if you could, darling, tap on the heart center. So even though I'm experiencing this physical pain and my body's telling me, you've got to rest, but my mind is saying, I've got to do all this stuff, nobody's going to get it done. And there has to be some kind of compromise in allowing my body to rest, soaking my feet, giving my body what it needs, drinking more water, asking my body what it needs. What does my body need in order for me to get past this physical pain in my feet? What do I need to do? Put my feet up on the wall, allow circulation to happen more often. I'm willing to do whatever my body needs. So body, please tell me. Tell me, what do you need? What do you need to relieve the physical pain so that we can joyously and easily go about and do the things we need to do throughout the day without the pain and with the joy and the spring in our step? So even though this pain is happening and I'm acknowledging, yes, my body is in pain, I'm open to receiving the answer for whatever it is my body needs to relieve this pain, because I can't be sitting on the couch all day. I have to be doing life as well. A tornado seems to have seized the pendulum. Yeah. It was going pretty crazy there, right? That's why I tap.
What does that mean?
Yeah, it's just too much energy. So I'm tapping it out, tapping out the energy.
From
There's a
me or
lot of
from you?
collectively, because all of our energy is here. So I don't know if it's coming from you. I have no idea. The mind wants to know, right? Who is that energy coming from? Doesn't matter. So now we're just tapping on it. So yes, all of this energy is floating. There is so much going on right now. Why doesn't everybody know this? And yet I have this physical pain, and my pain is telling me to rest. And yet my mind is saying, but wait a second, we've got all this stuff we got to do. There is no rest for the weary. So I am going to go through and do these things even though I'm having this physical pain. And we need to find this balance. My body is wanting to find balance.
I'm also getting deficiencies.
So write down, tell me those deficiencies.
Came up. So maybe I'm deficient. I don't eat meat anymore. I haven't eaten meat for a few years now.
So what's the deficiency?
I'm wondering,
What's the first thing that
maybe
came up?
maybe I'm not getting something I need in my food, because I eat the same thing every day. I'm really weird with the food.
Okay.
Maybe that's what it is.
So we're feeling like maybe this pain could be related to either circulation in the body or deficiencies. So I'm going to be open to my experience and allowing my body to communicate with me, and I stay open to supplementing if needed and giving my body what it is it needs when it comes to the pain trying to express itself something to me. So I'm listening. I am listening. I'm listening to the pain to communicate what it needs. Magnesium, whatever that is it needs. Magnesium soaks for the feet. Yoga, putting my feet up on the wall and really bringing my feet well above the heart so that the blood can flow freely, because sometimes pain is related to lack of blood flow and oxygen. So body, I am open, wide open. I am open because even though this pain is happening, I am living life intentionally, and I am open to receiving information on possibly relieving this pain, whatever this is. Nice. So check in with your pain, darling. Are you still a 9.5? You were a 9.5. So check in with your pain. Check in with any memories that might come up, any smells, any tastes, anything that might be waking up related to the pain. That you have to carry your own load. You have to walk every single step by yourself.
Make everything become less important, maybe I was carrying too much importance, and I just need to lighten up. Maybe that's what this is.
Nope. You don't need to explain the pain. Check in with the pain. You were at a 9.5. It was very, very. Did you catch your mind going off trying to explain away what the pain was? Did you catch that? So
Trying to understand. So it's more of try to feel, not
check
understand.
in. We're not understanding. We're not understanding because the mind wants to understand. We're focused. We're putting our focus. We're putting the mind on the 9.5. The pain. There it goes. So it was a 9.5. Check in with the pain. Where are you now?
Now I'm really good sitting. Like sitting here, I'm at maybe a 2.
You went from a 9.5 to a 2. But did you see the difference? Our focus, awareness, and attention is on that pain, 9.5. You went off your focus, awareness, and attention and on the mind, wanting to know why, what was the cause of it, where it was coming from, trying to figure out what was causing the pain. We want to train your focus, awareness, and attention back on the pain. It was a 9.5. And then you realized, oh my gosh, I can sit here. It's down to a 2. This is huge. You just shifted. Big shift.
So I shift
Now you're trying to understand the shift.
from the head to the feet. Okay.
Awesome. So you went from a
Keep your
9.5 to a
awareness
2.
on the feet.
Yes. So the pain in your feet was a 9.5. So we put our focus, awareness, and attention on that 9.5 pain. But then you took your focus, awareness, and attention off onto your mind, trying to figure out, what was causing it, the how, the why, the past, that kind of thing. So then you put your focus and awareness back on the 9.5 and realized the pain was a 2, just by sitting here and creating inner space. Does that help you?
That's it. It's the inner space.
Yes.
Okay,
Because you can't bring your mind with you in the inner space.
that's what I need to master.
No, you are the master of it. The mind gets your attention. Become aware of when you're going to your mind. You're already the master of it. You don't need to master anything. You have it. You are it. A 9 to a 2. 9.5 to a 2. So your homework, darling, is to sit in the space, not trying to figure it out. Sit in the space, hold that vision of your feet feeling wonderful and walking for miles with a skip in your step, right? You just feel so good. You just hold that image, activate your angel wings, sit in it for 2 to 10 minutes, 2 to 3 times a day. That's your homework this week. And that's everybody's homework. Your vision, holding it, holding your slide, activating your wings. And we're going to all do this really soon because we have Christine to get through. And then we're going to do an anchor, hold our vision, activate our wings. And then we'll be done. This is so fantastic. Oh, you're welcome, darling. I am going to mute you. Hey, Christine.
Hello, hello, hello.
You were at a 6 today because of this illness is kind of taking over your life and things are getting
Mhm.
harder to deal with. And, you know, there's just too much. It
Yeah.
feels like so much weight. It feels like, you know, there's nothing I can do. I feel like I'm
Yeah.
stuck, like I'm spinning my wheels going 1,000 miles an hour and moving nowhere. The wheels are just going, and the mud is flying everywhere, right?
Yep,
The
pretty
mud is
much.
flying everywhere. That's the vision I see. Yeah, and I know it's not the way it's always going to be. I know it's not going to be this way all the time. I know it. So it's a 6 yet. There's just parts within me that, you know, want to fix it. There's parts within me that just want to make it all better. There's parts within me that want to run away from it and be done with it. There's parts within me that just don't want to deal with it anymore.
Very much true.
I'm just intuitively channeling.
Yeah.
So exactly, you know, and so it's a 6. It may even go up to an 8 once in a while, and I just want to run away, put my head in the sand like an ostrich, and let this storm go by, and then come out and say, all right, where's the good stuff?
Yep.
I only want the good stuff. Come on, good stuff. Throw some good stuff my way for once, please. So all of these parts that are waking up, you know, with this 6, it's really affecting my quality of life, and you know, and sometimes I don't know what my particular issue is that makes it a 6. I just don't know what it is. I don't know. And I think I deserve better. I know I deserve better. I don't have to be going through this drama all the time. I went through enough drama with myself. For heaven's sakes, it was enough already going through all of the medical stuff. I'm done with the medical stuff. I just don't want to do it anymore. And it's a 6. It's affecting my relationship not only with myself, but with those closest to me. And I don't want this 6 to get between us. I really don't. And it's affecting my life. It's taking over my life. It's getting harder to deal with. It's hard to accept to begin with. Who can accept this? This with no promise or guarantee of nothing. There's no guarantee of nothing. And so all of these parts that are waking up, it's scaring the shit out of me. I just don't want it. I want to run away. All of these parts that are waking up and wanting to control it. All of these parts that are waking up and wanting to know what is the end result. What is this? Wanting to know why this is even here. All of these parts that want to control. All of these parts that are saying this is hard to deal with. All of these parts that are waking up. All of these parts that are saying this illness is taking over my life. All of these parts now waking up and reacting. It's a 6. It's causing some pain. Are you willing to share your wisdom, knowledge, and understanding with the healing team? I'm getting a soft yes, because it's like unsure yes. It's like I'm unsure, but yes. And are there any parts at all who are not willing or want to know more? and want to make a clear decision before you share your wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, while releasing the emotions, because we don't know what our particular issue is. We don't know what this is all connected to, but the larger unseen part of us, the intelligence that we are, can see all these parts lighting up within the unconscious, lighting up within the collective unconscious because of fear and uncertainty and unknowing and wanting to control the outcome. This is a normal human reaction. We're being human, and it's okay to be human. Your human is being very human right now. It's playing the part beautifully. Let your human play the part. Let your human play the part. It's okay. It's okay to be here. Yes, it might be a lot to deal with. Yes, and it's okay to come into this nothingness where there's nothing you need right now, nothing you want right now. No thought here, only space. Only space. And so holding that loved one and yourself together in the highest possible light, with the highest possible good outcome. It is done. Holding that picture, and creating an anchor as these uncertainty and unknowing and fearful parts wake up. For all of us, healing team, you have our permission to continue doing this processing, to continue with a feather filling in those holes with love. As all of these parts integrate, willingly integrate their knowledge, wisdom, and understanding with the healing team, while releasing all of the triggers, even though we don't know what it is, even though we might not know what the particular issue is. There are parts waking up in the unconscious. They know what that particular issue is. They know what it is. They know what's to come. They might have some fear of what's to come, but they don't know what's to come. They might think they know what's to come. So releasing the emotional reactions, the triggers, the wanting to control, the wanting to know the outcome, releasing those to the ocean, but integrating all of the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding with the healing team, individually and collectively. Beautifully, beautiful. And the healing team is receiving you fully. Thank you, healing team. Thank you for this work. Thank you from going from a 7 or 8 with self-doubt and self-sabotage and realizations and feeling hopeful and lighter. Thank you, healing team. Going down from a 9.5 with physical pain to a 2. And now knowing that we might not know what this particular issue is, but yet it's causing feelings of, this is really hard to deal with. And checking in now. Where are you now, Christine? You were a 6?
I'm probably much more like a 3 at this point.
Nice. Would you like the 3 to speak? What would the 3 say?
The 3 would say thank you, because everything on the call always seems to affect, it all seems to be relative.
Relative. It is relative. Nice. So about a 3. What else would this 3 like to say? Oh, did we lose Christine? Christine, we might have lost you. So we're down to a 3 with, I don't know what this particular issue is, yet it's affecting my life, and it just feels like it's heavy and it's hard to deal with. And I've been through it myself, and now a loved one so dear and close to me is going through this, and I don't know how much longer I can deal with, but I'm at a point where I'm at a 3, and I just feel this space of gratitude. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, she said her battery died. So thank you. We're at a space of being at a 3. And And I understand that everything is just so relative, and it's what I'm putting my focus, awareness, and attention on. So coming from this space of thank you and allowing this work to continue as a collective, each one of us allowing this work to continue on. And now we're going to anchor this work. We are going to get very clear on the end result, getting that picture very clear with being in this space of just nothingness, no expectations, nothingness, and having a clear picture of being in joy. My goal is achieved much bigger than I dreamed possible. My pain is relieved without having to take any painkiller because my body can do it. I trust my body. And allowing myself to be in this space of gratitude, getting very clear on that picture and what it looks like, what it feels like, what it sounds like, what it tastes like, what it smells like, and all of those emotions that I can feel right now. Even though my goal is not achieved yet, I can feel my goal already achieved now. And I hold this as I expand and open up and activate my plate, imagining opening up my angel wings, bigger than my arms, bigger than the room I'm in, holding that vision. It is done. It is done. All done. And I'm looking to see what I can do next. I've done this goal. I've achieved my goal. I am standing in confidence, and I am aware when self-doubt comes. I am standing in my wholeness, my center, and I create this space. And I'm standing in this space of zero, the kingdom of the heavens within, nothingness, allowingness. Love, this space of love, tingling sensation, opening up my angel wings, opening them up even more, opening them up to include everyone in this group, and opening them up to include the whole earth and our entire reality, holding space. Thank you. Thank you. It is done. The healing team has received you. Nice. Do we feel complete? How we doing? I'm going to unmute everyone. Let me see what Christine said. Her battery died. She said, sorry, my battery died. Very nice. Very nice. What an awesome session. Does everyone feel complete? Nice. I'm going to stop recording.